Hi there. We're continuing our journey through the Proverbs, the Mishle Shlomo, the life sayings of Solomon, and we're in chapter 6, reading from verses 27 through to verse 35. Solomon, in speaking to his son, now turns his attention to the breaking of faithfulness, the breaking of marriage. And he said, is it possible to hold coals close into your bosom, hold into your chest and not get burned? Is it possible to walk on hot coals and your feet not get singed? He said, well, that's what it's like if you try and mess about with someone else's spouse. If you take someone else's spouse who's bound to them in faithfulness, it will end in disaster. It's so sad that in our day and age, in this modern era, relationships seem to be so open to being broken up. People seem to not respect or honour the marriage covenant. But you know something? The reason we do that as followers of God, as followers of Jesus, is because God honours his covenant with us. We know that day by day, as we get up, God is faithful. God will not break his promises. And therefore God also calls us to be faithful to one another. Particularly marriage is something that is often under pressure. Marriage goes through seasons. The marriage is not just sustained by romantic love. Marriage is sustained by commitment and vow and self-surrender and self-sacrifice, all of these things that go into marriage. And so often these things are missing in relationships that are not focused on the love of God and are not committed to the spouse. But Solomon says to his son here, but you, son, if you go that way, you will just end up in destruction. If you think that you can mess about with another man's wife, if you think you can sleep with another woman who belongs to another man, all that's going to end up is you're going to end up in great pain and eventual destruction. God calls us to faithfulness in our relationships because he is faithful to us in his relationship to us. Let us seek to image God in our relationships, particularly in our marriage relationships, so that we don't break up, so we don't come to a place of destruction that the Proverbs talk about. Have a good day.